You look great, hon. Hi, everyone. Jaymes Mansfield here with Contrapoints. Natalie Wynn.
Hi.
Oh, my gosh. For all those gay incels watching this, I bet you're just fangirling the hell out of it right now.
Hi, sister cells.
I'm so excited to have you here, Natalie. Now, we're here in Baltimore. That is a foreign country in the United States that's very decadent, very dangerous.
It's also 1,000 degrees in here because my air conditioning is broken, and so we're just going to fill the room with steam. That's...
It's going to be great. Oh, my gosh.
All right, what's her name?
Mine is named Sheila. What do you think she is saying to you?
I don't know. It's getting a lot of forehead energy. Makes me think Barb.
Barb.
Yeah.
Barbs have big foreheads. It's a documented fact. Oh my gosh. Natalie, what did you do this wig?
I don't know. This was Abigail Cockbane for a while.
Was it?
Yeah. And Abigail's, she doesn't know how to style a wig.
It's shocking that Abigail would have a balayage or an ombre.
It is a little shocking, yeah. I don't know what happened to Abigail. She got kind of a glow up. I assume it was like by force.
I think somebody must have made it okay to wear makeup.
Yeah, she was like abducted in the night by hairstylists and forcibly balayaged.
What you'll find from this is that I'll instruct you, but I'll probably just end up taking over and doing it.
That's fine. That's probably for the best. It's like acupuncture.
Very therapeutic for her. Don't worry, she doesn't feel a thing.
I think we should call her Abigail, actually.
Abigail, is that who's going to wear this after?
No, it's going to be... This is going to be for genderfuck. This is going to be like, I'm going to wear it with the glitter beard.
Ooh!
Yeah.
Now, is Abigail based on anyone in particular?
Maybe.
Maybe! Is there a story there?
There's a story, yeah. There's...
Well, tell as much as you're comfortable saying.
Okay, so there was a person at one time in my life who may have had certain resemblance to a character I've created called Abigail Cockbane. And, of course, none of the characters I've ever made are parodies of existing people, but...
They're composites of people you've experienced in your life.
There's certain coincidental resemblances, yeah. And, yeah, I think... I mean, obviously I forgot all about this when I was creating Abigail, but I did once know a person who would wear a black beret all the time, was just the turfiest turf of them all, and would like just take these like hardline rad femme positions, like BDSM is bad because it's violence, and you know you'd push back and be like, well, is it really violence if it's like consenting adults? And she would just be like, yes.
At that point, you're almost tempted just to test her.
Yeah. So I tested her. Like you would say, like, well, like, what about exercise? Like exercising hurts, but it's good for you. Like, is that bad? And again, yes. Jogging is immoral. And are you try spicy food? Is spicy food bad? Yep. So yeah, this is a person who is not living a very vibrant life, but
she makes for a funny character.
She does, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the kind of thing about those experiences. It's not really fun. I'm surprised by how this is like really working.
Yeah. It's a beautiful wig.
Yeah, it is.
Now, is there a certain part of your face you like to put your parts? Is it left or right?
It's right.
Right. Okay, good, because that's the only way I know how to do a part.
Okay, perfect.
You're in luck, girl. Oh my God, it's like I'm breaking the Contrapoints wall right now. I'm like sitting up on your sofa and everything.
There's actually nothing outside of this. Oh, is it? Can we get Gigi in here?
Oh, absolutely. Are you sure you're comfortable me exposing your Gigi gorgeous shrine?
They've already seen it.
It's very beautifully framed.
We stand.
You're great, Gigi.
We stand. Okay, we don't need to see this anymore. Well, I'm not telling them what's on this side.
It's not nearly as nice as the Jodie Foster one I have in my house.
Of course, yeah, or the suit of women's skin I have in my basement.
Now, what I do is I take a section like that, here on where the lace is, and you try and pull it all from like the same direction, so that way your part stays separate, because this is going to be the one that goes that way. And the way I wrap it is so that this root here is facing upward like that.
So you get volume.
So that way you do a lot less work. You have to tease it and you're not ruining the wig. Now this next one I'm excited to see because I'm going to make you do it.
Oh no.
And I know you've been paying attention.
Okay. I'm going to pretend I haven't been mouthfeel fanning myself the whole time.
All right, see, I'm going to make it a little easy on you. I've already divided a section. You just have to use your memory and try and go from there.
Okay. And this is all going this way, right? So,
right.
Yeah. Okay.
No. You didn't brush it.
Oh, I have to brush it?
Yeah, you have to brush it.
Okay. I'm sorry. I failed.
All right, we're going to do 2 more, and then we're going to jump to the next section. Because this is going to be a long, tedious process, and I actually want to have a conversation with you. Mm-hmm. I have to ask, is it like a Lady Gaga situation with you? Like, you don't want people to call you Contrapoints?
A little bit. Like, what is it? Contrapoints is not the name of a human being, you know? No. Like, that's not the name of a person. Like, that's the name of a YouTube channel. So, yeah, when people call me Contrapoints, it is kind of a little, like, it's, I don't know. I'm trying to think of, like, an equivalent. But, like,
don't call me Gaga.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very that.
You know, just so I can, like, hit you with some topics you know. So, Natalie, Nazis. No.
Let's talk about de-radicalizing the alt-right.
No, I was thrilled that you agreed to do this video with me because, like, honestly, I do love your stuff.
Thank you.
And I didn't know what the hell we were going to do, but when you suggested a hair tutorial, I'm like, I can do that.
I need help with it. I'm terrible. I have no idea how to style wigs.
I think some of the stuff you've done is really great. Like, a lot of the drag characters you come up with. Like, I love that you're just embracing more and more.
It's, like, a lot of fun for me, honestly, to do those kinds of looks and videos, because it's, like, I guess when your gender presentations are really heavily scrutinized, like, to just be like, I'm doing a parody of it, you know? Like, it's actually kind of, like, freeing. It, like, lets me just relax.
Right.
To be able to do, like, Lenora LeVay or whatever, like, really, like, just a goth queen, like.
When I have to say, when I saw you with blocked eyebrows, I immediately was like, yes!
Yeah.
How has that been? How's the reaction to your drag characters been?
Mostly positive. Like, there's only, like, some trans people that side-eye me for doing it. Like, you're making us look bad, but, like, I don't care.
But also, you know, just to piggyback off that point, the element of drag and the art of drag has been something that trans women have always been welcome in. As far as when I was coming up, like, some of the most famous and some of the most influential queens were trans queens.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, it's a little odd to me that there's this animosity toward drag, but I think it seems to come from, like, resentment of Drag Race, in part, I think.
Yeah, I could see that. That and, like, sort of a weird separation between the two where people wanted to be separated and not associated. Yeah. Which I could understand.
Yeah. I think so. It's like, well, I guess people are afraid, I guess, that if trans women do drag, then it's like, oh, people will just think we're men in dresses or something like that. Well, people are going to think that anyway, girl. So, like, you may as well have fun. Like, yeah, that's kind of my attitude towards it. I don't know. Because I'm on YouTube, and, like, YouTube is not the nicest place to anyone, but especially not to people who are, like...
It'll toughen your skin up, that's for sure.
Yes, it does. And my skin has gotten very tough in the last 3 years, so... At this point, I don't know. I like to feel like I can take control back of the situation. And one of the ways I feel I can do that is through these, like, drag characters.
Oh, you absolutely can. Yeah. And that's one of the things I really like about you. It's something that's very similar to my own mindset, where it's like, your story is yours to tell. And if someone tries to hijack that, you have every right to try and retell your story the way you think it should be told properly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you don't let anyone speak for you.
Yeah. And that's, well, I'm lucky to have a platform where I can speak for myself, but yeah, it's definitely tempting online, and people will try to, like, make a story for you, and if it's not what you want, you have to fight back against it, because, you know, like, the issue I have right now is, like, you know, people want me to be this, like, the savior of the racists, and I really, like, I mean, that's great if I can, like, make people not racist, but I don't necessarily want that to be the thing.
It's also kind of an impossible task to put on one person's shoulder.
Exactly. Like,
it's not very fair.
No, it's not fair at all. Like, it's, like, not something that you want, like, the responsibility of.
I like your approach to it. It's like, well, I'm happy to speak on these issues, but I'm only one fucking person.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's how exactly how I feel with the trans stuff, too, where it's like, okay, it's amazing that I have a big platform. Not a lot of trans people have a big platform, but at the same time, like, I'm not every trans person. I just can't be every trans person. And so, you know, don't call me, like, a representative of trans people, because I'm not. Like, no one is. No one can be that.
all you are is just a very visible trans person. Like, you're very visible and you have a great message. And that should be enough. We are going to wrap the rest of this off camera and then we'll pop back into the next part. All right, be back. All right, we're back. She's all rolled.
She looks great, hun.
What is a hun exactly? I know there's two meanings here in Baltimore.
So hun is like Baltimore dialect, and it's just like a you know, term of endearment that like women would say, like, hey, you know, thanks hun, hey hun, like you'd hear it at a diner. And so in Baltimore, there's this idea of a hun as like, it's a kind of like outdated stereotype of a kind of like working class woman, like beehive hair, horn-rimmed glasses, like leopard print, like very like your kind of moment.
I have to say, so me. It's me.
And then there's also like hun as this like derogatory word in like the dark places of trans internet, which means like tootsie. Like it means like the dark version of hun is like, they're saying you look like a man in a dress. So,
but they're trying to be nice about it.
Yeah. Well, it's like a satire. It's like a mean satire of like the way some trans women would talk, like constantly saying hun, in kind of the Baltimore way. But I think I'm reclaiming hun.
It's yours. It's fully yours
mine.
now.
I'm a hun reclaimer.
All right, so I did all this work off camera, so I'll make you work a little bit.
Okay.
We're going to steam it next.
This feels like murder.
Well, speaking of trash bags, what's the inspiration behind Tiffany Tumbles?
The inspiration behind Tiffany Tumbles is kind of basically some combination of unnamed trans women from YouTube / my own horrible darkness.
Because like I remember seeing her like in her infancy, where she was very much like she's almost sort of like Tabby, but without the cat ears, where she's very much in defense of everything.
Yeah, she's kind of like, there's two like very different Tiffany's that I've done so far. The first one is like a certain kind of like baby tran with like the choker and the like very like Twitter tran.
The knee socks.
Yeah,
my favorite.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then there's like Tiffany Tumbles from the Tiffany Tumbles video, who's very like, if Gigi Gorgeous was a terrible person.
If Gigi Gorgeous was a Trumper.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This section's getting a lot.
Move around.
Yep. And don't forget the bottom. Don't neglect your bottom.
Tips.
Since I'm on the topic of your characters, what the hell is Tabby?
Yeah, Tabby is like kind of a combination of a lot of like Twitter tropes, like leftist Twitter tropes, like cat girls, of course, bashing things, talking guillotine memes, demanding that people read obscure leftist philosophers, combativeness. It's just Twitter and a character.
But why the cat ears?
Well,
is that like a thing?
It's kind of a thing, yeah. It's kind of a like, I guess there's just like this thing on Twitter about trans women being cat girls. It's not so much of a thing anymore. I don't know. It was like a thing I noticed in like 2017 when I made the character up. Now it's not just Tabby is just the dominant cat girl.
She's a full-on
on
cat.
the internet. So, well, I thought about having her become like a cat over time. Like she would become like, I've thought of this, like having her be like a full like fursuit furry.
Like when the Harvest Moon sets, she
Right,
becomes a full cat.
right. She becomes a, or I could also just have her be like, I could get like a black actual cat and like have her just turn into a cat.
As you guys know from watching my stuff, we always steam the wig and we put it inside of a wig oven, but you guys already know how that all works, so just look at my videos and you'll learn all about it, because I don't like repeating myself. So we're going to jump back after this is dry, and then we're going to style it and really get in deep conversations about fascists. Facials and contour points.
Contour points. Just dry.
She's cool to the touch at this point, so we just
Dry.
take her down.
Okay. Can I do anything useful?
Yes, you can take it down. So you've taken on quite a few people. I'm curious, has anyone ever like responded or tried to get slick back?
Well, Dr. Jordan B. Peterson says no comment. So that's about all I heard from him.
Which is honestly like the best review ever of your content.
Well, I really should be using this to my advantage. I really should be like, it should be on the front page of my channel. Yeah, Ben Shapiro will not acknowledge my existence, so far as I can tell. Dave Rubin will not acknowledge my existence, so far as I can tell. These are the people I make enemies with, and they just won't pay attention to me. Why won't they pay attention to me?
I mean, there could be worse things in life.
Yeah, like them paying attention to me, for example.
Once you get it, I'm not sure you'll want it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's how they are too. They're like, debate me, bro, until someone actually does, and then.
Well, they'll see that you came with notes, and
Yeah.
that's intimidating.
Right.
A lady with notes is always
Aw.
intimidating.
It must be so hard for them. I'm just really entertained by the bounciness of this for some reason.
It's very, like, you know, early century.
Yeah, well, this is actually, like, I mean, this would be very good for, styling, like, some kind of, like, I don't know, Victorian kind of ringlet look, right?
Absolutely. Speaking of Victorian, where did Foppington come from?
My brain. Yeah, Foppington is the only character I can think of who's, like, she just comes from, like, deep inside my soul. Like, there's really no, like, inspiration. I mean, I guess there is inspiration because I will, like, look at, like, old, like, portraits of, like, 18th century women, or, like, the most recent version I watched that like the Sophie Coppola, like, Marie Antoinette movie, and, like, I kind of, like, had, like, the more modern, like, Foppington look based on that. But I just, like, since I was a teenager, I have wanted to sort of be Marie Antoinette, and I can't explain that. I can't explain why. It was very strange at the time. I knew something was wrong with me, but I've just embraced it now, and that's how I get it out of my system.
As far as it goes, like, whenever I see her, and, like, that was the first character I saw of yours that I, like, immediately, like, what the hell is this? And, like, she reminds me of, like, I told you, like, she's, like, Marie Antoinette meets the Marquis de Sade.
Yeah,
with a
yeah.
skull, like, obsession.
Yeah, very, very much. That's kind of exactly it, yeah. I don't know why that's in my head.
I'm curious, is, like, where does she exist, Lynn? Because, like, I always imagined it was, like, a callback to, like, the past or something that she exists in, but, like, she makes appearances in your videos as, like, in the modern day.
Well, I guess originally I thought of her as being, like, as existing, like, in old times, but I think at some point I decided it was funnier if she's actually just, like, a delusional person who is, like, getting thrown out of Dairy Queen, like...
I was like, that was an interesting development. I was like,
yeah.
And that's what I love about your characters is, like, a lot of people who do characters on YouTube, like, they're very one note. Yours have stories. Like,
yeah, they're like...
They go on journeys.
It's not quite like it would be like a novel or like a TV series, but it's like, I try to make it more than just like, you know, oh, she shows up and delivers a catchphrase about a skull. Like, yeah, she does, but like, there's like the mystery behind the skull. Like, why does she want the skulls, and like, why is she getting thrown out of Dairy Queen? Like, why, you know, what time period does Contrapoints take place in? Just the show. Is this enough to do it once?
Mm-hmm. You're learning, girl.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom. I'm sorry. You don't want to be the universal drag mom, but you're stuck with it.
It is me now.
You're stuck being everyone's drag mom, and I'm stuck being
You're stuck being Batman.
Batman. Yeah, Batman for racists. Great. That's what I always wanted.
And I'll show you how to tease. All right. So with teasing, I use a comb like this or a teasing comb, and I drag it down and start trying to get as close to the bottom as possible, and with very little force, gather
So it's
it
not
in.
just like random hacking at the hair like a lot of people do.
No. It's very divisive the way I tease hair, and I do very small sections when it's the front because that's the section people are gonna see.
Yeah.
You can certainly hack at it when you're doing like the back of the wig. No one's gonna see that, and half it's gonna get covered anyway. All right. Back, and that is how it'll look on one side. It'll look crazy. But now we do the second side. All right, now we're gonna make you try teasing.
Okay.
And I made sure to do it on a section far enough to where you won't mess the wig up.
Okay.
And like what we're doing is like the grip is slowly letting hair fall into it, and we're gonna climb upward with the comb.
Ooh.
Yep. And when it's longer hair like this, don't be afraid to let it like stack up all the way to like here.
Okay.
Yep, and that's good.
And are we...
Flip her over. Yeah, that's a very good tease.
Look how much hair we have now.
Oh yeah.
It's like...
And this is only one wig.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Okay, so for these back sections, we want to just get it over with.
Yeah.
I take a good section like that, and that's like 1, 2, 3 tracks.
Okay.
I tack it down, and then just start flicking it. And that creates a big bubble of hair. Now I'm curious, the whole character thing, is that something that you've always wanted to do with your videos, or?
It kind of occurred to me later on when like I wanted to talk about a topic and like I didn't even have my mind made up about it. So like having two different characters was like at first it was kind of a way to like explore my own differing opinions about a topic. And so I've definitely used it that way. And then once I started that, I just kind of started having fun with the characters themselves. And then that became like sort of its own reason to do it.
I have to ask, since you delve in so much like heavy material, what the hell do you do for fun?
A few things. I spend so much time on YouTube that my life is a lot of that. But I play the piano. I've gotten into playing around with makeup. That's fun for my Instagram. I like going out drinking.
Same.
Yeah. Like getting high and watching television.
Work, diva. Love that for you.
Love that for me too.
I recently went sober for a little bit when I stopped drinking, and I've since stopped doing that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I went through a sober period. Right after surgery, I was like, I couldn't drink, so I stopped, and I was like, what if I just don't drink? So I just didn't drink for a month, and then that didn't last very long.
I did it for 3, and I remember the day I started drinking again vividly. It was a brunch with all my friends, and I stood up and made a toast, and I said, you guys, I've spent the last 3 months with you stone cold sober. I've got to know all of you as people, and I've decided I'm going to start drinking again.
Brunch, that's how it starts. What was it? Was it a mimosa?
It was a mimosa.
Yeah, it's hard to say no to that.
It's the gateway drink.
It is. It absolutely is.
All right, now comes the even funner part. I'm going to smooth it out. Okay. This is awkward to do sitting down, but I'm going to make it work because I'm a professional. What I'm doing is just dragging this over the top of it because I want to...
brushing through the outer layer. Yeah.
Because we want to keep the height without taking out the teasing. And when we do it this way, that guarantees that the hair will stay upward. Because if you do it that way, it's going to smash everything down.
It's going to be beautiful.
She's going to be a moment.
Yes.
All right, once I have this section the way I like it, then we work our way down. Now, one of the jokes that even I'm guilty of stealing is the daddy thing. What's the origins of daddy?
Well, I guess, I call Jordan Peterson daddy in my video about Jordan Peterson. Because the man is a daddy. Like, some people have it, and he has it. Like, I don't know what else to say. But also, there's just, like, something funny about, like, you know, a trans woman calling a 50-something straight college professor daddy.
Especially when he says the most horrible things.
Especially when he says the most horrible things, yeah.
What I like about it is, like, it is something that clearly will make them uncomfortable, but it's also so harmless.
Well, like, can you really be mad at me? Like, me?
Okay, so being from Baltimore, I know literally, like, one thing about Baltimore, and that's where John Waters is from.
Yeah, that's the main thing. John Waters, The Wire. Yeah, it's like I like Baltimore a lot, actually. It's like a city that most people don't know that much about it, and people have this sense that it's like a war zone or something because they watched TV in 2015. But it's actually like, it's a beautiful, interesting city. Like, it's weird, it's small, it's quirky. Like, you kind of feel like nature could reclaim it at any moment. And I like that. Like, you've got like all the vegetation growing through everything.
Now comes the part that can be a little time consuming where I just go through and tease up certain sections to get it more height and get it to match everything. And I just make sure there's no hairs burgeoning.
That was good. That was good. You sounded exactly like Jermaine Greer. Is Jermaine Greer here? Hello. Jermaine.
Does she actually sound like that?
No.
I avoided her for reasons.
Yeah. She doesn't sound like that. She doesn't like not sound like that though. I don't know. Like I would say that like when Theron did Jermaine in that video, like it wasn't like not what she sounds like. It wasn't. I would go so far as to say it was what she sounds like, but it's not like.
Like it was inaccurate, but it wasn't not accurate.
Well, it was like it had like some of the spirit somehow. Like it wasn't like an impression, but it was like. An impression doesn't actually have to sound like the person, in my opinion. Like,
absolutely
it just has
not.
to like capture their essence in some weird way.
Do you do any impersonations?
Not really. That's not really my thing.
Not that you need to. You have like 19 characters.
I know. Like, I'm thinking like, well, some of my characters are sort of like impressions. Like, where do I get the like Foppington? There's a classical radio DJ that's kind of the inspiration for Lady Foppington's voice. Because, like, what is Lady Foppington's voice exactly? It's just, like, miscellaneous posh. like, my lords, ladies, there's a layeth between. Like, it's not really an English accent. It's like, I don't know. It's just costume drama voice.
I remember there's this one where she's just like full white face, and Moss needs me.
Yeah. It's
Like, she's deep. She's far gone.
Well, she also goes through stages. Like, the one in the Faberton Art Traps gay was like, yeah, she was scary looking. Full white face, yeah. And that was her most psychotic. And I kind of gave her a glow up for the last one.
Oh, she looked gorgeous this last video.
Yeah.
Which I have to say, like, that was really brave of you to do.
Which, just the video?
The video itself, like, you were so open about it in, like, a way where you didn't sugarcoat anything.
Well, I knew I kind of, like, yeah, I guess it's just not my style to sugarcoat things. I knew I needed to, I was going to have to address the fact that I had a bunch of facial surgery at some point. And I had thoughts, so I figured I may as well just, like, make it into content, like everyone does. Like, let's make it into content.
But it was great because it's like you made it into content, but you made it real and you made it yours. And it definitely spoke with your voice. And I thought it was so important to cover because, like, it gave an element to that idea of the surgery and everything to where it argued that it's more than just, you know, feeling good about yourself.
Yeah.
And it's more than just, you know, changing something about yourself. There's a lot deeper.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that, like, you know, people sort of don't acknowledge. Like, there's sort of a thing you're supposed to say about why you had surgery. And, like, not that those things are wrong. Like, I don't think people are lying when they say those things. But there's also, like, a lot of other stuff going on, usually, that gets talked about less. And, like, you know, I do think that, like, yeah, people should basically be able to choose what they want to do with their appearance and their bodies. But, like, why do people want the things they want? That's, you know, that's also a question worth asking. And
like, you really went in deep. Like, you got so far as to, like, go into the mental stating after the fact of, like, now that I've got this, am I happy?
Yeah.
And that is such an important thing to discuss that people always gloss over.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, like, at the end of the day, like, if you're getting surgery because you think it will make you happy, like, don't do that, because like that's not how happiness works.
No.
Like surgery will do good things for you. Like, it's been great for my willingness to be photographed in profile, for example. Like, before I hated showing the side of my face like that, but like now I'm like, yeah, photograph me, good, because it's, you know, the of those changes. But like, that's not happiness. That's just like a new angle, you know. So it's, yeah, definitely good to have, like, perspective about, like, what something like that can do and what it can't do.
In my line of career, there's lots of pressure to do things to my face to make it, you know, more sustainable for a long-term career. Like, I've thought a lot about having, like, Botox or getting my lips done. There's certain things like that I know would, like, make the process easier and probably soften the face over time. But again, it's just, like, one of those things I always wrestle with myself. It's like, do I need this? Will it make me happy? Is it necessary? And, like, that's always just a question in the back of my mind. It's like, I'm getting older. And I do, like, you do not hold back.
Yeah.
And that is necessary. Like, we need more people like that out there.
Well, I think, like, I find that there's always something very rewarding about, like, saying, like, what you're really thinking and feeling, even if you're afraid that that's not what you're supposed to say or not what you're supposed to think and feel. Because I find it always turns out that there's a ton of other people who are going through something similar. And if you just say the thing, like, suddenly, like, you've, like, cleared, like, the space for it to be talked about.
Like, you've given permission.
Yeah, exactly. So that to me is kind of the best part, I guess. And it often ends up being less lonely after I said it than it was before.
Okay. This is her hair.
Ugh.
I think she's pretty. She'll do.
She will. Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to jump back shortly. Be right back. Welcome back.
I'm a Quinn.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you. Thanks, Mom.
Oh my God, Natalie, thank you so much for allowing me over to your home and to play with all your stuff.
You're very welcome. Thank you for this amazing wig.
Thank you for teaching me all about Jordan Peterson and the mouthfeel.
You're always welcome.
Not tonight, but her videos. Be sure and check out Natalie Wynn's videos, Contrapoints. What do you think?
It's beautiful. My head has never felt so dainty.
And kittens, don't forget I also have my wig spray collaboration with Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab, the Midwest morning after that smells just like cream soda.
I actually have some because they gave me some at DragCon.
You got one?
I did, yeah.
Okay, we'll give you my $28 right here now. You're actually being billed. This is COD. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye.
Be sure and check out Natalie Wynn's content over at her channel, Contrapoints. You don't want to miss it. Click here to watch me and Sylvia's thoughts on pop on our new channel, Queens of the Stream. Subscribe to that while you're at it. Or if you can't get enough wig videos, be sure and check out me transforming the lowest rated lace front wig on Amazon.com. Come on, click it. You know you want to. If you don't click it, I'll make Jordan Peterson your life coach. So click it.